Welcome to Texas Honda Channel. Hope everyone's having a blessed day. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. In today's video, if God is willing, we will have the Comptech Supercharger thrown on this K20A2. Now this is the Acura RSX Type S for those who didn't know. It's 6-speed manual and it's pretty fun. Here's a little video clip of me driving it. So as you can see, this thing definitely pulls really well. It's going to pull a lot better with the Comptech Supercharger kit. So these are hard to find. I found mine used from a friend who just so happened to be selling it. You can find them between $1,500 and $2,500. I definitely wouldn't pay more than $2,500 for a used one. Brand new, sure, but they're about $5,000 brand new, and they don't make Comptechs anymore. But there are, I'll leave a link in the description for other ones that you can buy. This has 1000cc fuel injector clinic injectors. I cannot use them yet. I still have to get injector clips, so we'll throw the factory injectors in just to get it running and hear what it sounds like. We will not do any pulls or anything like that. It'll be just to get it running and driving. So with that being said, we have all these other parts that will be going in a different video. But real quick, I wanted to show you, I laser etched supercharged K20. It is very nice. This is the stainless, I believe it's stainless steel coated coil cover that I got from Jack Spania. His information will be in the description, his website and his eBay page. Now he does take the discount code on his website, but it doesn't work for his eBay page. So I recommend getting it from his website anyways, but that's just how I personally like to do it. But yeah, we basically gotta get the intake manifold out, power steering out, loop the power steering with the power steering kit, which I will leave a link in the description for, and just basically get this rolling. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, and we'll get to it. So here we go. Okay, I'm gonna get started with pulling the basic stuff off first. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and take the power steering off. I wanted to show you this real quick. It's actually not too dirty in there, surprisingly. This thing has higher miles, so I was really surprised about that. Taking the throttle off makes this lower bolt a lot easier to get out. Highly recommend doing that. So it's pretty simple, 12mm bolts. You have to remove the stud using the double nut method, which I've done in previous videos. It's pretty simple. Just put two 12mm nuts on there, tighten them together, and loosen the back one. It's a pretty simple method. But yeah, I'm gonna get this taken off, and then we'll get the supercharger over here, and I'll show you how to install that. As for the power steering pump, it's really simple. You've got a 12mm bolt here, and a 12mm bolt down here, and then this pump comes off pretty easy. Now this will make a mess, so be sure to have like a drip pan or something underneath, and try to contain the mess before it becomes a huge mess. So it's my only recommendation on that. Right now I'm just going to try to get it out of the way without making a mess, but we'll see exactly what happens. Okay, moving back to the firewall. Right here is a 14mm nut that will need removed, and a 17mm on the other one. Both of these lines can come all the way out. We're just going to be looping these two together, so that way it loops the power steering, making it a depowered power steering rack. And it's not too hard to drive on these lightweight cars. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we can start focusing on the supercharger going in. Alright, now that you've got the two power steering lines off, we've got the bypass hose here, which I'll link in the description. It comes with these adapters on them, with the washers on them. You want the bigger one to go into the bigger hole. Pretty self-explanatory there. Now that we've got that fitting on, we're going to use the other fitting. It did come with washers. Make sure to use those. Alright, once you get both those fittings on, take the hose it came with and tighten them on top. And now the power steering is bypassed, and I will leave a link for this in the description. Now we can move on to the supercharger. Okay, I've got the thermal gasket on, and I coated it in some ultra black Permatex gasket maker. This is my favorite gasket maker I use. You can use Honda Bond or whatever, but I prefer the ultra black. But I got it coated on both sides. I never had an issue with intake gasket leaks when I do this, so this is why I do it this way. You don't have to do it this way. This is just the way that's worked for me on all the builds I've done. So now that we've got that, I have to take the supercharger off of the actual lower section of the manifold. So it's just 6 10mm bolts. This comes off. Then I can bolt the manifold on, then bolt the supercharger on. So I'm going to go ahead and get to it. Okay, on the lower section of this intake manifold, there's a bolt that goes right here. That's why the supercharger has to be off of it. So make sure to do that one first, so you don't forget it. And now we can do the rest of them. Alright, now that we've got all of these 12mm bolts tightened up, you gotta make sure this wiring for the fuel injectors is out of the way, so that way we can clip them on the injectors. So make sure nothing fell in there. Then we can put the supercharger on. I went ahead and put a longer brake booster hose. Just this one runs all the way to the brake booster, and you can use all the factory stuff, or you can get rid of all the factory stuff and run your own line and make it a little bit cleaner, which I'll probably do in the future, but for right now we're getting it going, and then we'll pretty it up later. I still have all the evap stuff, so all that's real good. All I have to do is put the throttle cable, cruise control cable on, the intake system, because I'm probably going to be throwing the true cold air intake on here, put the belt on, and the bracket for the belt pulleys. We'll be good to go. So hope you guys are enjoying the video. Okay, unfortunately we have to put this intake back on for the time being because the other one needs a lot of stuff removed, like the battery needs relocated and a few other things to run the true cold air. So this one here is just going to have to do for right now, and we can always come back to that and address that problem. Alright, the best way to do this one is with it kind of taken apart. So we can get this little tool on right here, and it goes on pretty simple. When all the other pulleys are on it and stuff, it makes it a little more difficult, and on this particular one, most of the pulleys are moved up to the very top of these slots. So I'm going to go ahead and put the bolts in and get the pulleys back on. Okay, this is the most difficult part, especially when you can't find a proper belt diagram. I've Google imaged it, and I can only find a few that might work. Either way, once I figure this out, I will put it on screen so you can see exactly how I run the belt. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a shot. Okay, got the belt on, and I could not find a diagram, so here's one on screen right now. Decided to make one myself because this was a more difficult task than it should have been, because I couldn't find anything properly on the internet, or maybe I'm just not looking good enough. But either way, got it on. Went ahead and put coolant in it so it's all topped off and ready to go. Plugged the battery back in, got the intake on, everything's looking good. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up and hear how it sounds. Everything sounds pretty good. Belt looks good, it's not slipping off. Oh, very nice. Okay, well, we do have some smoke coming in the back from stuff that's burning off the exhaust. I'm gonna take it down the street. Remember, it's not tuned, so I'm just gonna very lightly get on it, see if we can hear it whine at all. I will not be staying on it. That is very dangerous to do, especially on a stock tune, stock injectors, all of that. So yeah, we're gonna go take it down the street, so here we go. All right, here's a little sound clip. Don't want to get on it too much, but definitely sounds good. Really pleased with how it sounds. But yeah, it's driving awesome. The only things I gotta do is this maintenance required light. Gotta reset that since I did all the maintenance stuff. And the airbag light, gotta figure out what's causing that. Probably the seat belt latch. But overall, it's driving really good. I love how it drives without the power steering. It doesn't feel too hard or anything. So I'm really pleased with how everything came together. Now the next thing to do is get it tuned at AGM Motorsports and get it on the dyno and get a proper tune on it, throw the other injectors in. So we still have a few things left to do for sure, but yeah, we'll go over some more of those things when we get back to my house. I hope you guys are enjoying this video. If you are, please consider subscribing if you're new here and hit that like button. It really helps me out. Okay, well, definitely a success for sure. There was a lot I didn't get done tonight, but that's life for you. Sometimes you just got to roll with the punches and keep moving forward. I'm going to look at the positive side. It is running. It runs awesome. It sounds awesome, and it pulls really hard without even trying to get on it that hard because I made sure I was in a higher gear, and it still wanted to just go, which is crazy. So I cannot wait to see it fully tuned with the 1000cc injectors in, Jack Spania Racing's fuel rail, the true cold air intake, and I'm staying on 93 octane at least for a while. I'm not sure on the E85 thing. I have my reasons. We can go over that in another video. But yeah, we definitely have some stuff from Jack Spania to install still, such as the shifter, which this is a big one for me. That thing in there is so wobbly. I cannot wait to get this in. Also, the catch can goes to the breather piece, which you can just bolt this right into your factory spot. So definitely recommend one of these. Also, for all of my game nerds out there, I made the Sheikah symbol on this. I laser etched it. I spray painted this blue oil cap gold and then laser etched it in there. This isn't Illuminati, it's a nerd thing. But yeah, it's definitely going to be really cool once I get the Legend of Zelda theme on here. It's going to be really, really cool. So if you didn't notice, over on the valve cover, I put the Supercharged K20 coil cover on, and I've got the black dipstick top right now. That'll all be changed. We're going to go with a white pearl gold. So it'll be a white base coat with pearl gold over it. So it'll be white and gold pearl valve cover. It's going to be really cool. And I actually have the paint for that, or I can get it powder coated by Aubrey. It depends whichever one comes first. Trying to get a hold of Aubrey and get him. He's a really busy guy. But anyways, he's possibly going to do that this week if I can get it there. But yeah, we have a lot of work to do. The shifter install, the catch can, the solid mounts, and obviously I'll put this piece on. But yeah, I am really excited for what the future holds for this, for sure. Now my goal is to get this thing to the track before the summer is over, so I'm working overtime to make sure I can get this thing reliable enough to make it down the track at least a few passes without breaking. I know the CV axles are trashed. I need to get lower ball joints here soon, get it on the alignment rack after I go through everything, make sure it's all solid. The transmission seems to be doing fine, and I looked under there and I can actually see in, and there is a lightweight flywheel. So it's probably got a racing clutch of some sort. Not even sure what's in there. We'll just use it until it starts giving us issues, because why fix it if it ain't broke? So definitely have some work cut out, and I definitely want to get the bay painted. I'm thinking of going a gold flake on the engine bay, the outside going a white with gold pearl over it. And I think it's going to be beautiful once I get it where I want it. And yeah, I'm really excited. So I hope you guys got some knowledge out of this video. I try to make the videos informative and share what I learn along the way, because I'm not a know-it-all. I'm learning just like you guys on some of the things. Now, my area of expertise is superchargers over everything, because I just absolutely love superchargers. The Pilot was supercharged, the Civic was supercharged, the TL was supercharged, and the RSX is supercharged. So I absolutely love them. But yeah, I hope you guys got something out of this video, and it's because of all of you guys hitting that like button, dropping comments, sharing the videos around, interacting on Instagram. All of these things are why Jack Spania gave me a chance. He sent these products free of charge, just said, make the car sick, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Huge thanks to Jack Spania, huge thanks to you guys, and of course, huge thanks to God for allowing all of this to be possible. So I'm really thankful for everything that is lined up perfectly, and I'm super happy to see what the future holds. So I'm ready to get on this journey, and hope you guys are ready to go with me on this journey. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please hit like, drop a comment, share the video around, and if you're new here, please click that subscribe button. There's way more to come. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I will see you guys in the next video. As I like to say, God bless, stay safe, stay awesome.